Captain America will return in Avengers: Age of Ultron. All right. Because I like Captain America. And also this was spicy. Because his friend, Bucky, is the bad guy. Okay. Let me take these off. All right. Well, let's just get this little review started. Okay. Again, so awkward. Feels like talking to nothing. Oh, jeez. Excuse me. Well, hey guys. Thanks for watching me watch Captain America: The Winter Soldier. I'm just gonna kind of get into my thoughts here. I liked this movie. I was excited to watch it. I was told that it was really good, and I'd agree. I do think I like the storyline within this and all of the loopholes that happened. Like Fury thought he died. Haha, surprise. Just Fury doing Fury things, you know? So, and it's kind of interesting to see how it makes more sense now, like S.H.I.E.L.D., because I've been griping this whole time through all the other movies, like, where the heck is S.H.I.E.L.D.? Like, what's going on? And then it's like, maybe this is what was going on. Like, there was quite a bit happening there. So that's really cool to see that essentially, like, there's like now like this more like it's such now down to like a specific group of people that we can trust, and everybody else can basically kick rocks. Yeah, I mean, but it's wild because this whole time it's like I thought S.H.I.E.L.D. was this great thing, but Hydra was just, like they said, like a parasite just growing within it. But then it's like all these people knew. Thank God that they were able to stop it, but Bucky is still going to be an issue because it seems like now we're like ending this movie with them saying like, okay, well, they gotta go get him, you know? So I don't know. And then it seems like too, like it's like S.H.I.E.L.D., Hydra, but then it's now with the end credit scene, is there something even more? And how, like, we still have this whole thing happening in space with like Thor. There's just so much going on. I still don't know what's happening with the purple guy, Thanos. There's so much to consider right now. I'll have to see what movie I'm watching next. I'm like, man, somebody made a comment and said I'm just in a perpetual state of confusion. Yeah, I am. Yeah, really cool. Like, now we're both here. Hey.
Yeah, you said you didn't expect Bucky. Yeah, how surprising was that?
I was like shook when he was sitting in the kitchen with freaking that guy that was like the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. Fucking, I don't know what his name is.
Robert Redford's character. I don't remember that.
Yeah,
the guy. Old white dude.
Yeah.
Red hair. Yeah. Well, there's two big things. Was first off, S.H.I.E.L.D.'s been infiltrated by Hydra.
Yeah, and S.H.I.E.L.D. being infiltrated by Hydra, right. So I'm curious to see. I mean, I think probably, obviously, is there another Captain America movie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so maybe the questions from this will be answered in the next Captain America movie, because at the end it seems like they're going to go after Bucky to try to sort the rest of this out. And he tried really hard, like he said at the end, I'm not going to fight you. And it's like they kind of equally save each other and help them get out of the wreckage. So.
Yeah, it seems like Bucky's maybe lost. And then, like, that last second, he goes and pulls him out of the water. So you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, which he has to remember. Like, he did, but then they freaking shocked it out of him, I guess.
Well, what end credit scenes
tortured
did you see?
him. So I saw both of them.
Okay, so you saw him go to the...
Dude, Disney Plus.
But, no, I mean, I think they give you some hope that he either is starting to remember, or that he at least is interested in who he really is, because he goes to the
and he ends up in the museum
and he sees himself.
For me, it's more like, I'm like, thank God. Because who knows, like, maybe he went there just with the expectation of trying to see Captain America, and then happens to find that information about himself, is kind of like what I was thinking, because it's like, he's saying, like, you know me, and he remembered for a second, but if they, like, torture it out of him, then it's like...
Well, and also, if there was nothing there, then why did he save him at the end? He could have not saved him. He could have been like, you're full of crap, and killed him, or I don't care, and killed him.
Yeah.
But I think there's something there, because he goes out of his way to pull him out of the water. Because it does seem like all hope is lost, because he just falls down the thing. And you're like, because you're thinking, he's going to, snap out of it here up in the sky. Yeah. He doesn't.
I also think, too... what makes it sad, it's just like this movie, I think, plays a lot into like how like people who, when they, like these people go out overseas and they fight wars together, and it kind of talks about more about the support that they can bring each other, like within their communities, and it's almost like people who've been through those things only really can relate with other people who've been through similar things. So that was kind of an interesting thing to see them pull into. And then it's really, but what makes it sad is that it's like they went through so much together for Bucky to not remember, or to be pinned against him.
Very sad.
And Captain America was lucky enough to kind of be integrated back into society, whereas like Bucky is not, obviously had the same thing.
Well, and Bucky and Cap could really use each other, because not only is it the war experience, but it's also they're both from 70 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
So it'd be nice to have someone you could just sit and hang out with who understands, remembers.
But I can understand, Bucky, because he's been, like, held hostage and, like, was experimented on and, like, in a different way. And then his arm and, like, all this stuff, and has had... basically been like a science rat, like locked up.
He had it really rough.
Yeah, has had such a hard time that it might take him a second to come out of it. So like he might totally know, or like remember at least bits and pieces. But I could see it taking a second. So maybe I don't know if it's the next movie, but the next Captain America, we'll see, like, I don't know. But now what are we doing? S.H.I.E.L.D. isn't a thing, I guess.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nutty when you think about how important S.H.I.E.L.D. is for all the other movies.
Well, it just felt like S.H.I.E.L.D. was what was going to bring all of them together.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I guess if it kind of did already, but it's like... But I was also saying it's nice to see that now there's like a small collection of people that we know we can trust. That blonde girl that is his neighbor, I accidentally called her a bitch. I thought she was a bad guy. She comes in with a gun, and I was like, "You bitch!" but she was fine. But
yeah, I think her name's Samantha.
They focus on her kind of a little bit, so I don't know if she comes back around in any way, in being helpful, because she really like stood up at the end, trying to make sure that they didn't launch the ships as best as she could. It was like that Spider-Man meme, but like 50 million people in one room getting ready to shoot each other.
Exactly. Well, and what did you think about ScarJo? What do you think about Natasha in this one?
Yeah, she's it's kind of crazy. I don't really understand what was leaked about her, but you can assume that it's probably not good, because she's given like bits and pieces of her past, but she kind of is like, she's a badass. I freaking love her. Yeah. I love her so much.
I think that they gave her a lot more character in this movie.
Yeah, like it's cool too that she's almost like the counter opposite of Captain America.
Yes, yeah, she is. Yeah.
And so they really, I don't know, they almost balance each other out really well, because she's like mysterious and totally like rogue, and like obviously hasn't had the best history, whereas he was just great, to start, and had a good heart, and then became better,
Right.
And like,
Well, and I think he's also starting to wisen up a little bit too. Like he's I think learning the harsher side of reality and the bit more pragmatic side. So he seems a little less like a little boy than he did in the first movie, where he's just like, you just go out and follow your heart and do the right thing. And I think he's starting to understand the world a little more.
What do they call the guy with the fucking metal wings?
Falcon.
Yeah, okay, but his name is...
Sam.
Sam?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sam the Falcon. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's cool.
Isn't he cool?
He's so cool.
He's awesome. Like,
and he came out of nowhere.
I don't want to say like sidekick, but he's like a really cool friend.
Well, he's not. He is.
know?
He's just like a cool person to add to the group.
Oh, he's
Falcon.
awesome. Yeah,
okay, cool. Yeah, I
awesome.
love that guy.
Yeah, you're gonna get a lot more of him.
Cool. Okay, because he was super dope.
He's this movie is one of those. This is what I call, or Danica from Comic Book Girl 19 calls the jock Marvel movies, where it's like everyone's got a little bit more grounded powers. They're kind of, so this is like a lot of the people who are brought up through S.H.I.E.L.D. normally don't have superpowers. Right. So they're all just like the ones who are just really good with like some gear and guns and stuff like that.
Right.
Really relatable and stuff. So, he's really cool.
He's super cool.
That relationship is really cool too. The whole on your left thing. I thought that was a really cool pull around when he's doing that in the beginning. He's like, you say it again one more time. And at the end, like when he thinks he's dead, and he's like, hey man, on your left.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just done well, man. But yeah, it is so crazy to think about, like, oh my gosh, like all the crap. Well, and that one guy, the like maybe Indian bald guy who's been in since, like,
the
Thor.
bald guy, and he was like on the...
Because you've seen him the whole time.
He's ship?
He's in Avengers 1. He's in Thor 1. He's always, like, in the side, like, just, like, orders this, that, the other thing or whatever. But he's, like... Because the other guys are new. Like, Frank Grillo, who's, like, the fighter,
Yeah,
guy.
With the good hair.
Looks like really good
kind of looks like a soccer player. Like, what's that guy's? Cristiano Ronaldo? He totally looks like...
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah, I don't remember the character's name, but the actor's name is Frank Grillo. And, he's kind of he's really big in China. But he's like new, and, Robert Redford's character is new. And so like seeing people who've kind of been around the whole time and being like, oh crap, they were involved. And, it's like Hydra's been so behind the scenes and stuff. It also, I think Hydra's more intimidating when they're not a cartoon caricature of Nazis. It's like, this feels more like this could have, obviously it's superheroes and shit, right? But that felt more like, there's like, what if the CIA had like bad actors, infiltrated through and stuff like that. And I thought that was really kind of like, Hydra can look like anything. They don't have to be like obvious.
Yeah.
This is probably like a neo-wave form of Hydra. It's like an offshoot probably.
Yeah. I wonder if it'll pay off better for the Avengers though to not be so attached to like a program.
Yeah. Under like control.
Yeah, or like under like a system of something that's been going on for so long. Mm-hmm. Kind of sad that Tony's dad freaking does he figure that out? Because that's kind of that's messed up.
It's messed up, isn't it?
Yeah,
it really is. Especially after Iron Man 2, when you find out that like Tony didn't really ever understand his dad, and his dad loved him more than.
Well, he made the joke, like he made the joke to the kid about like, well, dads leave sometimes.
That happens. Yeah, no reason to be a pussy about it.
Yeah,
exactly, right.
And so it's just like.
And now it's like he didn't walk out. It's like, no.
Didn't. Like, dude, your dad got freaking murked.
Oh, sad.
He got murdered.
Well, and poor Bucky, I don't know if they explicitly explain this, but it's not really a spoiler, but like, he just goes back to sleep, and then they wake him up to go kill someone, and then he goes back to sleep. So it's just like this he hasn't been like at bars and stuff, he's just this poor guy. Like, I feel really bad for him.
That's why I'm just like, he's standing there, and I'm like, this man, the lights are on, nobody's home though. So
also he turned into a real son of a gun, man. He was giving everybody a run for their money.
I know, and at the beginning I was like, oh my god, I love him. And then part of me was kind of like, I still kind of love him.
Well, I think you should, though, because that's the thing. It's not his fault. Like, they literally had mind control. Like,
and then they made him, like, more dark and mysterious.
Oh, yeah, they did. So I think his sexual appeal goes up.
Yeah, it went up way high. I was
like that new hair.
Oh, yeah, his hair. Like, I don't know.
The little covered up face, his metal arm and everything. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So it's nutty though. I was excited to have you watch this one because I was like, I wanted you to get it before it got spoiled that Bucky was the Winter Soldier.
God, that's crazy.
So I was like, that's a really big reveal. It's like, oh, especially because you're like, oh, I really liked Bucky, and I was like,
know. Yes. I was like, I love Bucky.
Like, he's coming back. So cool.
Yeah, crazy.
All right, sweet, man. Any okay, so
I have my list.
Yeah, there you go. You know what?
Oh. I'll put it here.
Yeah, it can get hard.
Because I kind of like I really like the first Iron Man. But then I still love that everybody came together in Avengers. Mm. Not that it's like in terms of production, I think a couple of these have gotten better. Like,
I agree.
Terms of production.
I think Avengers 1 also is a little bit of a mess. It's kind of like, what's going on?
Yeah, and I mean, and that's kind of, and that's what I'm saying. It's not that it's like...
simpler and kind of more streamlined. And I think the action's better in some of these, too, than the other ones. I think, like...
right.
If you just put Winter Soldier, it's long.
Oh, well.
No, you're already there. Yeah, because, like, that action scene where... Fury's getting messed up and trying to get away from the Winter Soldier. I think that's like one of the better action scenes. And Iron Man 3, I think that the scene where he's trying to do the barrel monkeys thing, like that's one of the coolest action set pieces. So I agree. I think
that's what I'm saying.
Avengers,
and I think that's where it's like my movie rating list is more going off of about like I think like I'd have to narrow it down. I think just like what I've enjoyed of like the overall story.
I think you should, Or I mean, just your overall. When I think of this movie, do I like which one would I want to go back and watch again, or which one would I be more excited to show a friend?
Right.
Than the other one. I think. It doesn't have to be like a super
because it would be
complicated breakdown.
Yeah, like for me, like getting to Avengers and being like, now they're all together, like, or at least this group of people is like together and like. It may not be like the best in production or like you said in fighting scenes and stuff, but it's and some of the still cool. Is kind of just like what? Okay. Like that makes me excited. So okay, cool.
Well, I think you're gonna like the next Avengers as well when they get back together.
I know, I'm ready. Yeah, but what am I watching next?
I think next is Guardians. Let me double check.
Okay, well should I read my list?
Yeah, read your list. I'll look up the.
Okay, so here's my list updated as of now. We have Avengers, Captain America, Winter Soldier. Wait, the Winter Soldier?
I know what you mean.
Whatever. And then Captain America, the first one in third. And then Iron Man 3, Thor, Iron Man 2, Thor, The Dark World, and then Hulk. Yeah.
You didn't like Hulk number 1?
It's, in terms of other...
I will be very interested today.
I think, like... I mean, it wasn't bad.
Well, none of them are, like, unwatchable, right? Like, it's just that out of the ones you saw. I think, like, some people will be like, what? Hulk is better than Dark World. But I think that, overall...
But I like Thor, all, like, though.
Good enough, you know?
And I might not... It's just, like, I maybe haven't seen enough of Hulk to, like, like... Banner and like that character enough yet.
Yeah, I agree. He's kind of a side character in the Avengers.
Yeah, because like I love. I mean, of who I've seen: Captain America, Iron Man, and Thor.
Hey, I'm into it. Yeah.
I love them. Totally. You know.
Okay, cool. So yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy's next.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, and then the Avengers 2. That's actually. Well, maybe it feels fast because we just ran through 3 movies.
Like in a week?
Like in a week, like really. I'm like, we're already at the next Avengers.
We're just slamming them out, guys.
I had to wait 2 years.
I know.
Years.
I don't have to wait at all.
So it feels like it was a long time. But it's like, what do you mean? It's like 2 movies down. But no, cool. Yeah, and Guardians will be cool too because it's going to be as different to what you've seen generally as like Thor has been to the rest of it.
The rest of it? Okay, interesting.
Because like these take place on Earth and everything's very like earthy. And then Thor is like more kind of magic, and then Guardians is like
Thor reminds me of like sci-fi. Lord of the Rings, you know? Like,
yeah, right, like
absolutely. Like when they say like it's like another realm, like
it is.
It's just a realm.
There's literally dark elves and stuff. So yeah, it's very fantasy.
And a rainbow bridge.
And a freaking rainbow bridge, which is also in the original lore.
That's all I can think every time I see it.
Well, also because of how they made it, it looks like
it looks like Rainbow Bridge, Mario Kart.
It looks like the Mario Kart bridge. Yeah.
So when they're running down it.
It's kind of funny too because in the future they like crack a lot more jokes about all of that because it is goofy and it's hard to like not admit that it's goofy.
Mario Kart, like Nintendo should do a crossover with Thor and create like
2014 would have been the time to do it, but yeah,
like create like a map that you could drive in.
That'd be fun. And well, I mean, it's all like Disney and Nintendo. I think they've done stuff before.
Yeah, they should. That'd be so cool.
They both feel like it. But yeah, they So yeah. You got Guardians and then the next Avengers. So yeah, it's going to be, it's cool. I'm excited to see you.
Dope.
Kind of, well, and you're getting into that point now where it's like, yeah, you kind of know these characters more. So I think the movies feel more impactful. Like this movie probably wouldn't have meant very much if you didn't have Captain 1.
Yeah, because like Fury, I was like.
Yeah, you care about Fury. You care about Cap, you know, Steve and. and Bucky and all that. So they get to write more kind of specific movies because they don't have to spend the whole first half making you understand who Steve is. Like, you already got him, so now we can just kind of move on. And this whole thing turns into kind of like a real long kind of a TV show almost, where it's like, these are all kind of like episodes in the MCU installment. So yeah.
Beautiful.
You got any final thoughts?
I'm excited for the next 2 movies.
Cool. Good to hear.
And the next however many. I want to get caught up because there's 3 movies coming out.
I think just this year, yeah.
All right.
We're already in the year.
In the year. I know. We gotta go. I gotta get moving. Because like this fool is out here watching freaking Spider-Man as it's released, and I'm like sitting here doing.
It was really good.
I can't. Yeah, of course.
Well, that's the hard part too, is we gotta catch you up on those other freaking non-canon Spider-Mans that all of a sudden have become like semi-canon. So
I know. We're doing it.
That makes that awkward. It's gonna be really hard because Fox, so like Sony owns Spider-Man, and that's why all the Spider-Mans were non-canon, because they were made by a different company. And Fox owned all of the X-Men, and that's why all the X-Men were made by a different set of people and stuff. So the problem is now that Disney bought that part of Fox, they technically now own the X-Men.
I think I used to think that this is so embarrassing, but I think growing up, for some reason, my brain, I thought the X-Men were the Avengers.
Oh, that's funny. Okay.
Like, I'm so far detached from all of this. It's, like, insane.
I mean,
and I don't even know his name, but he has the crazy hair.
Wolverine.
With the...
with the knives. Yeah.
With the knives.
Yeah, man. No, there's some good stuff out of that. But point being is that, like, we may have to catch up on that when Disney finally does their own X-Men.
Yeah.
If they do the same thing that the Spider-Man series has done and kind of made it interconnected a little bit. So we'll just see what they do. But we're in a phase now after the Infinity War stuff that's more kind of like multiverse oriented.
Yeah.
And that's why we're running into some of those things. And so we'll see what happens. But,
all right,
guys. Well, it was a pleasure, and we'll catch you next time on Guardians of the Galaxy.
Bye, guys.
Bye.